question number 2.
Oh, I'm so excited about this night. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, what does love in the romantic sense mean to you? The question again is, what does love in the romantic sense? Because there's different ways you can love, right? What does romantic love mean to you? And I'm gonna start this once again with Mr. Dewayne Washington.
So I'm gonna try to give a non-complicated answer because whenever we're actually writing a book about love and researching all the different. I always talk about the 4 loves from the Greek. There are actually over 9. So I'm assuming that what you're talking about is what we would consider to be Eros, which is that love that's only shared between, supposed to be only shared between a husband and wife.
Right? You said Eros, huh?
Eros. That's what we
I think that's the kind we're talking about. Yes.
That's good stuff. That's some good stuff. And not to go all the way down this rabbit hole, but it's important that you have these other loves that underpin it, so that when you get to Eros, you have what we call storge, you have what we call phileo. In other words, the person that you're sharing Eros with is your friend. The person you're sharing Eros with has your back. The person you're sharing Eros with has loves you unconditionally.
Well,
this is not a conditional thing. This is not what can you do for me today, or I just happen to meet you at the club and you find that's not the case. So when we talk about a romantic love or those types of love, the more you share that, the more you're intimate with someone who is your, let's say your equal. In other words, like your life partner. The more meaningful that becomes. So the longer I live, the more I'm confused about that kind of love and that how powerful it is. Because if just real quick, storge is the kind of love like if you have for your baby. Like if you have a baby and they put this little girl in your chest, you fall in love with her immediately. Even though babies do everything they can to get you to not love them. They spit up on you, they pee on you, they poop on you, they cry through the night. If a grown man did that, you throw him out of the house.
I swear.
Right? The baby do that, oh, you just love the baby more. So that's the first unconditional love you get. The phileo is like a sisterly, brotherly type love. And then we have Eros, and of course we know about agape, that God love. Well, the problem is when you find somebody who's 21, 22, and they're out there in the streets, or they're very promiscuous or whatever, almost without a doubt, you can see that someone, they didn't get storge, never experienced phileo, or somebody introduced them to Eros too young, and literally messed up the projection of their life. And so now they believe that this love has to be a physical love, something that you have to do something for, right? Versus when it's underpinned with true love, I don't have to do anything for you. So if that's not the case, then you're just doing one night stands, like what can you do for me, how freaky you gonna be today, whatever. But when it's underpinned with this other types of love that you have, then it really means something.
Yeah.
Right? Then like me and my wife can be intimate. I got some plans tonight, actually, as soon as we get off the phone. And it's all legal, because like I said, we're gonna wake up in the morning, we're gonna be talking about politics, or we're talking about babies, or we're talking about this book, or we're talking about this car. It goes far beyond just this one act. And I think that if you're truly going to be romantic, then it has to encompass all of these other things. It can't just be, we're about to go do the act. Don't get me wrong, the act is great, phenomenal, it's from God, it's a wonderful thing. I'm glad he created it. It's you should spend some time studying it. If you haven't, I'm telling you, there's enough out there to take you for the rest of your life trying to learn about this. It's a wonderful thing. Thank God, Lord, for it. Woo! But it should be underpinned with some other types of things if it's going to mean something from you. Because you got to realize, like, you're going to have, okay, I'm going to say this, and my man down here, my man, QP, I want you to think about this, okay? There's a couple things about men we don't talk about. A lot of men, their very first intimate situation, the woman pressured them into. A lot of them.
For sure.
Number 2, that first intimate situation, and I want you to think about this long and hard. The very first one, set your filter for your preference.
Wow.
So if there was a skinny little girl, you find yourself attracted to these skinny women. If she was full-figured and thick, you find yourself attracted to full-figured and thick. If it was a white girl, you find yourself finding white girls attractive. That set the filter. You might not even marry that, right? You may not be engaged there, but your filter and your preference keeps that the preference or the filter. Now, if you ask me why that is, I can't tell you. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get to heaven. There's some psychology that can tell you, right? But that lets me know that act is beyond what we can understand. It's a very, very intimate spiritual thing that I don't know if we'll ever truly understand this side of heaven.
Yeah. Y'all heard the man. Is there anything, Miss Washington, that you'd like to add to that? Mrs. Washington, my bad. Washington family is covered as far as the answer is concerned. Medusa, what would you like to add to that? The question was, what does love in the romantic sense mean to you?
You know, I have had to try to, I don't know if reshape or rework my idea of romantic love. It's funny because I keep hearing the same thing that everyone keeps saying. I'm old-fashioned. Like everything that you guys are saying and talking about is very traditional and is very. And I recently started dating. I'm 32. I never dated before because I got married at 17. Wow. And it's crazy out here to me because to me, I'm very traditional and I'm very old-fashioned. I was a pastor's kid, very conservative growing up. And to me, romantic love, it begins with an attraction of something deeper. You feel connected to someone somehow in an unexplainable way. And when that I talk to a lot of people, but there are very few people that I feel connected to. So when you connect to someone like that and it becomes a romantic love and you give so much to it, and the dating scene now is very casual, very like, oh, I'm talking to 5 people and I, hang out with this person this week, this person. I don't understand how that operates. Like in my mind, I cannot even fathom how you can give so much to so many people and not, I don't know. It's just I feel like my thoughts on love don't fit into modern society. And I don't know that I'm willing to change my thoughts because that's how I feel, but I also don't want to not believe in love. Like I still strongly believe in love. I tell people I'm forever a dreamer. I forever, believe that love should be given freely and openly. But yeah, it's just that it's a deep connection to someone. You feel connected to someone. I tell people all the time, I'm an old fashioned ride or die person. Like if I say I was going to say, excuse my language. I'm like, if I say that I fuck with you, then I fuck with you. And it's whatever you need, whatever, I'm going to be there. I expect the same in return. Again, it goes back to the partnership. Like that romantic love blossoms from that connection, from that commitment, from that, whatever that is.
Okay. Fair enough. Ali, what would you like to add to that?
So I can't hear much of anything that the Washingtons say. I don't know why it's so low on my end. So I can't really hear them.
Oh, okay.
But it sounded like what they said was good. So I'm just going to assume. Because they've been married 20-some years. I wish I could hear what they said so I can like glean off some of it. But I guess I've never been married. And I've gone through phases of what love means. So this is a very interesting question because, I think it continues to change. And like Melissa, like you're saying, now it means something different to everyone. And I too struggle with, I mean, you're single until, you know, you've been married for 5 years now. Now you ain't even married. Now you're not single when the day you got, you know, it's just silly, all this stuff, right? And so I don't go off of all of those rules and things. And so for me, when I start to think about romance and I think about love, it falls under the same kind of guidelines or feeling of a true companionship. It's on a very superficial level. It's the superficialness of being together, of having like you said, a connection, but a physical connection as well as a mental connection. It's loyalty. It's the, you know, so when you talk about romance, it doesn't necessarily have to be physically intimate sex, but there's an intimacy there that you don't have with someone else. Like you can love a million people, but romantic love is at a different level. You know, it's where there is a feeling that we have, or something happens and I can feel it inside me as if, you know, I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have those kinds of feelings, that's a deeper connection within yourself to another person. And that's what, to me, romantic love is, or used to be, or what you know, it still means to me.
That's very fair. Same. Yeah, I honestly, I kind of feel like every answer that was given kind of encompassed how I feel about it, frankly. Quite frankly. QP, did you respond? Did I get your response?
No, I'm just listening. I'm
you taking it in too? Right on. So is everybody okay with moving on to the next question, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Love is so compared to ownership nowadays, man. I don't want to feel owned, man. Like, you don't own me because you say you love me and I say I love you. Period. Like, I've struggled with that. Like, they just want to, like, 2 weeks. Wait, are we together now? Like,
together.
You said 2
like,
weeks.
oh, you own me. Yeah, it's really that. Like, what? It's that for everything. I'm telling you. That's why I said that before, the difference of like the CD and the streaming. It's like, it's just, oh, okay, everything went like so much faster.
QP, you said you wanted to be needed.
I wanted to be who?
Needed.
I want to be needed. That's not the same as own.
You said you don't want to be needed in 2 weeks.
If you need somebody to change your tire, that don't mean you own the tire service. You feel me?
I'm just saying.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, I want to be needed in a situation where I'm allowing that to happen. What I found is that I like he said. I don't know if you heard my OG up there. You my OG now, man. Goddamn me, I like what you talking about. But he said, he asked me, was my first situation. A lot of times men don't talk about the first time. We were not pressured into it, but definitely like, oh, this is supposed to be happening. Sometimes I feel more like an ideal than an actual thing. You feel me? Like, they like the ideal of me. It was somebody that was going to be at that altar. Somebody was going to wear that suit. Somebody was going to have that baby. You feel me? No, me. Am I the one? You feel me? So romance, I dig on that, you know. It's just, I'm romantic in other ways. Like, if I remember, you know, that you didn't want barbecue sauce, you know, that's pretty romantic. It's hard to remember what people like to eat, you know. If I think about you enough to know that I'm not going to leave a car half a tank or on.
You muted yourself.
But I think that you're getting into the like what Ali mentioned earlier. You're getting into the love languages thing.
It's like that's my way. If you can remember something I told you that I didn't like once, oh man, that is so sexy to me. Like, no sir, you are bothering me. Just a second. Just no, I got you though in a minute. Hold up. So I'm sorry.
You're in deep Ellum.
Nah, I'm deep though.
Somewhere.
Deep.
Gotcha. Right on. Yeah. To piggyback off of what you just said though, and thank you, because you just gave me an idea for something I can add as an answer, which is that to me, one of the things that romantic love means to me is two people who don't seek to belong to and or have someone belong to them. Rather, romance or romantic love is two people who have decided they don't want to be without each other.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like
that's what I'm here for.
That's a beautiful answer.
We almost got a 5-piece nugget right now. We got
5-piece nugget. Long as it's not McDonald's. McFrankenfood. Okay, so the next question is, what are your thoughts on the subject? Well, I know the Washingtons have pretty much already provided an answer to this question because of their status. But the society says social commentary, there's still something that can be added. So what are your thoughts on the subject of marriage? Is it considered important given the current social climate? And I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, Medusa, I'll start with you.
I'll answer that. So I like Ollie's answer of love happens in stage, like your concept of life, your concept of love, whatever it is, happens in stages. I think because I've been married, I think people like the illusion of marriage. They like the idea of being married or being somebody's wife. I don't know that I would ever get married again. I don't think that it's necessary. And I think it's more of a formality than anything. It sounds very non-romantic. If I was to get married, it would be more for like medical health insurance, like so that you could be my beneficiary, like things like that, not necessarily because I believe marriage is necessary. I believe it's more of the commitment to someone. So, I mean, like Ollie was saying, I've run into the same situation. I know. I've run into the same situation as Ollie, where it's like I'm married, but I'm not really married. So it's just not the same meaning to me. And I honestly, it's so much work to get divorced and split everything again. And it's like, if you're committed to me, I know I'm committed to you. I don't feel like it's necessary. And I don't know that I would ever do it again.
Okay. Ali, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, and I've had this conversation a couple times. We kind of chatted about it a little bit yesterday, and so I there was a point in time I decided I was never getting married because I didn't see any reason. I didn't see good examples, even with my parents. And Melissa, I too am a PK, so that's so funny. And so, I really didn't see value in marriage. It was until I was in my 30s that I started to see the value of potentially being married, because I've always wanted a companion, a lifelong companion. I never felt like you needed a piece of paper to define companionship and love. Mm-hmm. And I am that person. I'm the black sheep person that does not believe in the system. So I know the system is set up only for money purposes. So it costs you $12, $21, $100 to get married, but it's going to cost you the rest of your life to get divorced. And that's just the system doing that. We know naturally most people have your propensity not to stay together forever. So at some point you're going to pay some money to get out of it, right? And so when I think of marriage, when I think of love, to me, when you're doing something like that, most people get married back in the day to have kids. You get married to have sex and, to make it okay, because that's what my mother used to say. Don't be out here doing stuff that married people do. And I'm like, but I'm grown, though. Like, I'm grown. I got my little, marks and stuff. But in her mind, that's what it meant. And I was just like, we're not getting married just to go and have sex. So it make you feel good because I come from, the church of the house of God or whatever. So for me, I would get married, but I don't have to be married by law. You know, I mean, I would, and I've had a vision of what it would look like and where it would be and all this stuff. But if I never officially got married, but I ended up with a companion that loved me and was loyal to me, and we took care of each other and did all the other things that quote unquote don't really come with marriage, I'd be perfectly fine. And then he could put me in his will to make sure that I can come visit him and get all the benefits and things that we work for in our life.